Go ahead. The question.
Okay, hold on, Shanti. Which one did you? Which I have two. How about? Yeah. Okay. I have a question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Shanti, how can we expand our consciousness in a way that is useful and beneficial in life?
Okay. I want to explain this with overview with this chart. This chart explains everything. Supreme consciousness is all pervading. It is the source of everything. It is a source of knowledge. All of us are part of this supreme consciousness, and we are expressing ourselves as I consciousness. Further, I consciousness is identified with intellect, mind, senses, and body. Okay. So really, we are covered up with all these layers. And as I had explained earlier, that the lowest level of evolution is lethargy, not awareness of who I am. Little higher awareness is who I am, what I want, succeed, wealth, fame, and power. After you are saturated, you go into the balanced state that is called sattvic state. This is the state for attaining higher knowledge. Sattvic state allows us to experience consciousness and supreme consciousness. In other words, if we are at the level of gross body, which is at the bottom, we have very little potential. We are living at the animal consciousness. When we grow higher into astral stage, that means we use our mind and intellect much more. Okay. Then we go much higher, purity state, then we purify intellect. So these are the three stages. So really, all the powers come from the mind. In a true sense, true essence, it is not the mind, it is the intellect. Mind only perceives. Animals have mind also, but they don't think, they don't analyze. So we have mind with intellect. Intellect, we can misuse it to succeed in the world, or we can rise above the world, that is better consciousness. So for meditation purpose and success, we have to purify consciousness. So purified consciousness, or purified intellect, will be able to get benefits from the consciousness. So when intellect is purified at astral level, it has potential to gain psychic abilities and all kinds of faculties. But when it is further purified, then one can dwell into supreme consciousness. When you dwell into supreme consciousness, you are one with supreme consciousness. That means you are in touch with cosmic. So you have no boundaries of time or space. So you gain all the information. Partially, you get psychic abilities and all other abilities to perceive things at a distance. This is the book, Transformation of Consciousness, and the chapter on transformation, I have explained the details. On page 19, there is further explanation on page 19. The explanation is When we remain as an observer or drishta, we observe everything and we are not touched by anything. So we maintain calmness, and that is called mindfulness. When intellect, pure intellect, and consciousness mix together, it gives us all the potential. It gives us potential to gain psychic abilities, gains potential to gain intuition. Intuition means being in total touch, or with the faculty of connecting with the things, uniting with the things, we become similar to it. Just like a crystal reflects all the colors placed in front of it, so we can become identical with anything we face. That means person or their mind or anything, we gain all the abilities. Okay. When we dissolve our ego, that means ahankar, our individual consciousness, then we become one with supreme consciousness, and that is liberation, because we are no more separate. We don't have to be born again. We are free. That is the goal of yoga. So here is the potential, is to purify the intellect. More we purify, we gain more mental capacities, because our mind is calmer. It can reflect more things. So we can predict things, we can feel things, we become intuitive. All these things happen. More and more we go further into it, then we gain more capacity. So all the practices of yoga or religion is to purify the intellect so that we can perceive supreme consciousness or God consciousness. Though they call different disciplines, all the disciplines or austerities are designed so we purify our intellect, so it removes all the clouds and we can perceive the reality. Okay, so this answers your question, both questions. Like, how do we gain all the capacity? And also their question is, there is some subtle aspect of everyone, and that is true, because everyone has gross aspect. We see them, their body, their speech, and all these things, but they have subtle aspect, that is their mental aspect, and still subtler aspect is their consciousness aspect. So as we evolve, we are able to communicate with people with mental abilities and further connect with consciousness, feel their auras. Okay, so all these are spiritual evolution. One may follow the path of yoga or religion, or just remain like native person, and are in touch with the nature. They cultivate all these faculties because they have no distraction. So their mind is open to receive. So the reason we have advanced but gone backward, because we have lost the capacity to be quiet and still. We have lost the capacity of the heart to feel. So you can ask a question now. Go ahead.
As a beginning student, if you take a quantum leap, it seems like sometimes you could expand too rapidly and gain too much at once. Is that possible? You have to assimilate this slowly, I would think.
That's why all the spiritual disciplines gives us inner stability called samatha, or mental equilibrium, in a sthita prajna state. So we expand our consciousness so we can absorb all the shocks. We become like ocean, that we can absorb the rivers and all the waters and droughts. So this is why spiritual evolution that we evolve so we can handle all the situation, all the people who are in the world. Any other question? Okay.